This is In-Fisherman. Nothing stirs the soul of a panfish angler like spring in the air. As crappies begin to move shallow to feed before spawning, anglers follow, hoping for a meal of fish or just a pleasant afternoon of catch and release fishing, which is where we join In-Fisherman editors Jeff Simpson and Matt Straw.
Big dark backwater river crappie. These guys are chewing too. Look at that. Nice fish. Tell you what, these river crappies are pretty dynamic critters. They move around a lot. Sometimes they migrate many, many miles to get to the spots where they want to be in the spring to forage. And where we're at right now, we're in a big river backwater area off the Mississippi River. And the crappies are starting to come in. It's springtime. The water temperatures are in the 50-degree range. And they're really feeding and chewing and stocking up, getting ready for the spawn and trying to make up for that energy deficit of winter. So they're trying to find the areas that are warming the fastest. And that's what we're looking for today, the warmest water we can find.
River crappies are a dynamic bunch indeed. As waters warm, they move from main river areas into backwaters where they first hold in basin areas. From there, they make feeding movements to shallow portions of the bay. Anglers must search to find these fish, which often hold in the warmest water on the windward side of a bay. The basin remains their refuge in times of troubled weather, at night, and during chilly mornings.
Got another one, Matt?
Another beefy one.
Yeah. I tell you, like Matt was saying, those things, you know, Matt illustrated the point that these things move around a ton. The point is, too, that you have to. If the fish are moving around, if they're nomads, you have to take the same approach. You got to keep moving and keep moving. We could be fishing the most perfect spot, what we think is the most perfect spot, and we're not catching anything. And now we may shift just out into the basin, and boom, that's where they're at. There's only 50 yards away, but it was the 50-yard difference.
There he is.
Ooh. Matt.
Ooh, another crappie. They're just fat and healthy. They find so much to eat up here in these river backwaters. Where are you? Gotcha. I'll tell you, like Jeff said, we have waxworms, we've got leeches, we've got minnows, we've got gulp and power baits in the boat, and I usually bring maggots. I will bring anything I can find in the bait store because the bait, the bite can turn just like that. Just like that, you can go from having them bite minnows on every cast and the bite just stops. And it's time to switch to something else because so many things are going on in the spring. Things are starting to hatch. A lot of different insects are starting to move out of the mud and the muck on the bottom and rise up and hatch. And when that's happening, if you start to see a lot of insects coming off the water, the bite dies, switch to a waxworm, something that imitates an insect. Sometimes a little leech will work better. But it's not always a minnow bite for crappies. Not always a minnow bite at all. There it goes. There it goes. Look at that.
Nice.
Look at this now. Ah! I started whacking rigging. A little piece of plastic, and actually this is a piece of gulp. It's a wacky rig, gulp. This gulp stuff is amazing. It works absolutely as well as bait in a lot of situations. And sometimes it doesn't, but you have to go out and try it. You have to try it every day in the water, especially with these fish. They're so, they just jump from one style of forage to another at this time of year. Let's get this girl back.